Israel is not the Holy Land. The Holy Land is in you. Israel, Isis, Ra, and El. Isis, the feminine right brain. Ra, the masculine left brain. You enter the Holy Land by aligning your brain hemispheres. Unlocking consciousness, El. Simply do this just by meditating. You enter the Holy Land by turning off your senses, your thoughts and emotions, and you bathe in the awareness of pure consciousness, escaping the activity of the mind, emotions and senses. The Holy Land is not a real place, but a symbolic place inside your own consciousness that you can enter and escape everything. The next time you feel overwhelmed and thinking too much, just simply meditate, turn off everything, and you will bathe in the Holy Land inside your consciousness. We've all seen the viral videos of me decoding the Bible. I've just found something in the Gospel of John that is going to blow your mind. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. This word is not the vibrational frequency of word. This teaching stems back to the Hermetic philosophy. All is mind. Everything is a mental creation of the all. Every physical object in this physical plane began as a thought in the mind. The word is not vibration, but the inner mental dialogue inside of us. If you close your eyes, before you kick a football, there is a decision, an energetic shift inside of the mind or inside yourself. This command is the true you, the universal consciousness. The word that created all creation is the mind of God. All creation is an emanation of the mind. You possess a small mind, a small version of God's mind. It's not a coincidence this was on John 1:1. 1:1 represents the two pillars of masonry, the inner world and the outer world. The inner world of consciousness reflects outward in the outer world of matter. They are mirrors of each other. 11 is the number of creation. As above, so below. 7 planets give you the 7 chakras, the 7 metals, the 7 days of the week. Sunday for the sun, Saturn day for Saturn. The 12 zodiac give you the 12 cranial nerves, the 12 systems in your body, and the 12 cell salts. The universe is fractal, everything mirrors itself. 0 and 1 is the binary code, which is in the male and female. 5 fingers for the 5 elements, 5 points on your body for the 5 elements. They demonize the middle finger because it's the element they hid, ether. Invisible field that all energy comes from and returns to. It connects everything together to Githa. As above, so below corresponds with everything. This means you are God in a small form. You are made in the image of the stars. Jesus will never save you, Allah will never save you, Buddha will never save you. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. The universe only exists in this mind of yours. You have to save yourself from the emotional and mental chaos that you are suffering from, the internal hell that you suffer from. Why let your mind take away your power? Why let your mind, the only thing that you can actually control, be an enemy of yours? You have to make the mind your friend so it gives you power. Don't just experience life. Let life experience you. You have to become the conscious creator, the God within you. You are the creator. No one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. You're losing in life because your phone is a tool of mind control, designed to hijack your attention and redirect the force of your consciousness into nothingness. If you want to win in life, you must understand how your consciousness functions. Consciousness is the most potent force in the universe, and you have direct access to this. They condition your consciousness with fear so that you project a chaotic reality. They fragment your mind so you never gain power. To gain power, you must master your inner world, gaining control over your thoughts and silencing the inner conflict. You know when you want to do something, but you have that inner voice that tells you can't do it? That is a fragmented consciousness. To gain your power, every negative thought you have, think 5 positive more. Meditate 3 times a day. Practice turning off thoughts. This will give you the power to turn on and off your mind and redirect the force of consciousness. If you can focus your mind on one goal and you think about that goal, it will crystallize into your external world through action, your energy, and you will create this reality. They're controlling you to hide the power of consciousness within you. You can't be spiritual and want material things. And if you believe that, then you are entirely misled. New Age spirituality will tell you it's bad to want these material things, to want richness in your life. What do you think consciousness is for? It's to experience physical reality. You have been turning thoughts into a physical reality your whole life. You're doing it right now. Every time you type on the screen, you're turning a non-physical thought into physical reality. You are a creative power, a creator. You should want the best possible life, with an abundance of everything in your life. However, do not rely on these external things for happiness and validation. If you like cars, go and get yourself your favorite car. But don't rely on these things. These things are temporary. Your consciousness is eternal. Don't listen to anyone who tells you these things are evil and you shouldn't want them. If your validation and happiness comes from within, then it's okay to have these things in your life. Writing is a rite, which is a ritual, because writing words conditions your subconscious mind. Your signature is sign your nature. Your signature is your sigil. Think of me, revival of wisdom. You have an idea in your mind. That idea is an energy, a thought form, and this signature represents that thought form energy. In magic, you use symbols to impress your subconscious mind with different thought forms to create that reality. Breath has eth, which is ether. You don't just breathe air, you breathe in ether, which is life force, consciousness. Yahweh is the inhale then exhale of breath. Just listen closely to your breath, you'll hear it. Death has the word ether in it, because all energy, all life comes out of the ether and returns back to it. Life is an infinite cycle of energy. Life rearranged is file, being recorded by the eyes and stored within the subconscious mind. Sacred rearranged is scared, because they made you scared of all of the sacred symbols, so that you don't do your research. Words hold secret esoteric meanings. You'll never understand what I'm saying unless you study them. Why is it the ancients were so obsessed with these mythical creatures? A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. We even see this in ancient Christianity. The bull is Taurus. Leo is the lion. The man is Aquarius, and the eagle is an old symbol for Scorpio. These are the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac. These 4 signs represent the middle of each season. Each one of these signs corresponds with an element. In the esoteric world, they teach you that you have 4 bodies and not 1. And your 4 dimensions correspond with the 4 elements, which also correspond with the zodiac signs. Aquarius is an air sign, which represents the mind. Taurus is an earth sign, which represents the physical body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spiritual body. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotional body. These mythical creatures never actually existed. They're showing you the 4 dimensions of your soul. Aquarius the mind, Scorpio the emotions, Taurus the physical body, and Leo the lion, the spirit. These depictions are showing you the 4 different bodies of your soul. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. The spirit, the body, the mind, and emotion. Each gospel shows Jesus according to the different body of consciousness. All of this symbolism in the Sumerians and the Bible is talking about you. Demon is a D-mon. Mon is moon, meaning emotion. D means negative. Demon is a negative emotion that possesses your mind, body, and spirit. Every thought you think becomes an emotion. Motion is energy in motion. You create your own demons by directing thoughts into a specific emotional form. Demons are just negative aspects of your own psyche, little voices you've created in your subconscious that control you. Thoughts turn into imagination. Imagination is the body of thought. Imagination is a dimension called the astral plane. Your negative thought forms have created demons in the astral plane. Every addiction you have is a demon, an astral entity you've created and given life to by your thought and emotional energy. This is why we all have our own personal demons. They are not some external force, they are aspects of your psyche. They are trapping your soul in the earth. You do not experience the external world. What you feel is electrical impulses on your nervous system. What you visually see is light entering the eyes and the image produced at the back of the brain. You're experiencing a simulation produced by your brain and central nervous system, which means that the body is the earth. You are God, generator, operator, destroyer, the mind, soul, and body. The mind's the projector, the soul's the observer, and the body is the dimension. This body is allowing your soul to operate in this physical dimension. It's a vehicle. They programmed your mind to believe that you are only a physical being to trap your mind and soul in this physical world, in this physical body. But you are way more than just this physical body. The only way to escape is through astral projection. The matrix is not physical, it's a limiting belief system that lowers our state of consciousness. Programmed our minds to be attached to the physical world through money, clothes, and fame. To keep our minds locked in the external reality, you must go within to expand your consciousness to astral project, to activate your light body just like the ancients were depicting. You can literally become a god and travel these other dimensions other than this physical world. That's why these Sumerian gods depicted themselves with two faces. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Jesus never said he would return physically. He said that the Christ would return, and the Christ is a state of consciousness. But what is Christ consciousness? Christ consciousness is when you have full control. You're not controlled by your thoughts or emotional impulses. Your mind is aligned with higher principles, morals, and your higher self. You no longer desire the worldly physical pleasures. You gain pleasure from higher understanding of yourself and knowledge. And you're navigating your life through your compass. Your heart is a guidance system. Every thought you think is being judged emotionally by the heart. And the emotion you gain off the thought is what tells you what is right and wrong. This is why we say follow your heart. Every time you go against your heart's internal guidance, you destroy your electromagnetic field, which literally ages your body. This is the true return of Christ. It resembles a time in the future when everyone is following the guidance of their intuition and their heart, and their mind is aligned with higher principles. You can wait your whole life for Jesus. He's not going to return. The whole thing is a metaphor. You ever wondered why, if you minus all of the numbers on a clock, it adds up to 6? Well, here's why. 6 is the number of time, space, and matter. 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, and 24 hours in a day. 2 plus 4 equals 6. That's 666. The cube has 6 sides, and this is the geometric shape that gives rise to physical matter. 666 is 3 sixes. 3 represents thought, emotion, action. These are the 3 aspects of creation. 666 is the beast. You are the beast when your thought, emotion, action is only going towards your physical reality, cutting you off from your spirituality, and then you become the beast. That's why 666 is 3 sixes. Now you know why you see 666 absolutely everywhere. It symbolizes worshipping this physical plane. This physical plane is governed by the god of time, and time is governed by Father Saturn. In order to win the game of life, you have to understand this one thing, and that one thing is understanding that reality is not fixed. It's lucid. It's formless, and it's shaped by the shape of your thoughts. You become what you think about. And if you can control this temple up here, this mind, you all can control your reality. This is the number one secret. All is mind. Look around you. Everything began as a thought. Physical reality is crystallized thought. Learn how the mind works, and you will win in life. Why is it the Egyptians had so much rabbit symbolism? We even see a rabbit figure on the moon. The moon represents our subconscious mind. The sun represents our conscious awareness. The subconscious tells your heart to beat, your lungs to breathe, and controls every system in your body without you being aware. The subconscious knows everything about you and the universe. The ancient Mayans depicted the rabbit inside the moon. Rabbits are always symbolized with the moon. Rabbits dig holes into the unknown, the darkness. They are most active during the periods of sunrise and sunset, transition between darkness and light. The ancients depicted rabbits because it's symbolic of spiritually awakened people who enter their subconscious mind and explore deeper layers of their consciousness. Just like rabbits enter the void, you can enter the void, which is your subconscious mind. You do this by putting yourself in a trance. Wear a pair of headphones and place one frequency in this ear and a different frequency in the other ear. Place all of your attention on one sound of that frequency. If you do this long enough, you'll be in a sleepy trance. You know when you're just about to fall asleep and you're half in, half out? You're dwelling between the conscious and the subconscious mind. And if you can stay in this midpoint, this is the state where you can gain mystical experiences and unlock deeper layers of your consciousness, out-of-body experiences, and lucid dreams. The rabbit represents the explorer of consciousness. You can use the moon to your advantage. A full moon is very powerful. The moon is your subconscious mind, and your subconscious creates reality. For example, you don't post on social media to share with friends. Your actions of posting are coming from a subconscious force of seeking validation. Your actions come from hidden motives in your subconscious. So now imagine you reprogrammed your mind to seek success and growth. Imagine how powerful your forces of actions will become. Your action will be derived for growth and success. And that's the power of reprogramming your mind. On a full moon, your subconscious mind is wide open. The ancients used to fast on a full moon because doing anything addictive on this day can easily become a habit. Use the full moon to do affirmations, and feel your desired reality as if it already exists. This is the best time to change your mind and to reconstruct your reality.
In order to escape reincarnation, the Egyptians are telling us through symbolism. This was not meant to be taken literally, nor was this a real person. It's all symbolism. Today, we use symbols such as letters to create words. These symbols we use are to represent sound vibrations we make with our mouth. However, the ancients were the opposite. They used different symbols to represent different thought forms, different levels of consciousness, and various aspects of life. Here we see Anubis. Anubis is the ancient Egyptian god of the dead. Now, he was not a real god, but he represents death, an aspect of life that we will go through. Anubis depicted with these scales. On the left we have a heart, on the right we have a feather, and these scales are equal, they are balanced. This is an instruction for when we die, because consciousness is for eternal, because consciousness is eternal. Our physical body is mortal, so the instructions are telling us to make our heart to be as light as a feather. Our heart represents our consciousness, our soul. Most people die with a very heavy consciousness. Their mind, their emotions are still attached to worldly things. They still desire money, fame while they die. And when we die in this state, our consciousness is very heavy, still having many attachments to our heart, which is the reason why many people reincarnate. Because in order to pass on to the afterlife, to the astral plane, and to ascend to higher realms of the astral, you have to give up the worldly pleasures of the physical material world. Because in that plane, you cannot fulfill your physical desires, and you will suffer if you cannot fulfill them. And you'll end up reincarnating back to the physical plane. So in order to ascend, your consciousness needs to be as light as a feather. Just like the emerald tablets of Thoth tell you, each soul is weighed as to its light. If found heavy, it must return to the lessons of the earth. If found light, it passes into freedom. The freedom is the astral plane, where you can think and manifest anything at the click of a finger. Whatever you think, you manifest. It's the plane of imagination, that screen in your mind. Your imagination is your biggest tool for when you die.
Third eye is not your pineal gland. It is not this gland inside of the human brain. People think that when they become awakened to their consciousness and they become self-aware, that their third eye is now activated. This is completely false. In order to activate your third eye, you simply have to do this one thing, which many people cannot do because we've been programmed not to. It is called visualization, imagination. Your imagination is a screen in your mind. It is the access to the astral plane. And this is what we call in the occult and secret societies call imagination, spirit vision. It is the ability to see beyond the physical world, see into the spiritual world, which is simply the astral plane, your imagination. If you cannot use your imagination, you cannot vividly see something in your mind's eye, then your third eye is not active. Third eye is your spiritual vision into the astral plane. To activate the third eye, you simply have to gain a strong willpower and direct the force of the mind to focus the light of your consciousness into an astral form. Visualization is your biggest power when you die. And in fact, when you dream, you're using your imagination subconsciously. So we always see this checkerboard floor in music videos. The Freemasons are showing you in this image how to become enlightened and raise our awareness. At the bottom we have the West. This is where the sun sets. This represents the darkness, symbolic darkness of a divided state of consciousness and spiritual deadness. When the inner and outer world are not aligned, we do not act on according to our intuition of goodness. We are stuck in you versus me thinking, stuck on the chessboard, the game of life, the physical material world of duality. This checkered board is what we need to ascend up from to higher awareness between the sun and the moon, representing unifying the masculine and the feminine forces of consciousness to unity consciousness. This is where the east is. The east is where the sun rises in the morning, which is symbolic of rising consciousness towards a higher understanding, more light. When someone's intelligent, you call them them a bright person, because knowledge is light. You have to move towards higher understanding. Not external knowledge, but knowledge of your internal world, the forces of consciousness, thoughts, emotions, visualizations. It's all about rising your understanding of your inner world and your forces of consciousness. Here we have a blueprint to build a temple. This temple is not a physical temple, but a symbolic temple. The temple is your mind. We must use our thoughts, emotions, and actions to actively use these tools to reconstruct our mind, our temple, and climb the ladder of higher awareness and higher consciousness. We actively have to seek into our inner world through meditations, trances, hypnosis, in order to unlock higher awareness of your consciousness and the forces within you. Most people live down here in divided chaos, you versus me, unconsciousness. People don't realize they have consciousness. They take it for granted. They identify themselves with the illusion of the material world. This is the illusion, the black and white checkerboard. We have to rise from this illusion towards the light, higher awareness of self.
I would rather be an atheist than a Christian any day of the week. Now that's not me saying religion and Christianity is evil, because it's not. But here's the truth that they don't want you to know. That everything outside of you is a reflection of your own consciousness and your own mind. Life is a mental game. And if you believe in a deity outside of you, all of the negative things that happens in your life, and you blame it on God or this devil or these spirits outside of you, then you're not taking accountability for the destruction and the evil that you have manifested in your own reality. Your life is just a result of every thought you thought in the past. Life is a mental construct. Whatever you condition your mind to is what you will see reflected in your external world, your friends, your relationships. Your relationship with your internal self, the body and the mind, is the same relationship that you will have with people. If you do not follow through with the things that you're going to say, then you will never follow through with your relationships and be a man of your word. Life is a reflection of your own consciousness. There is no one outside of you manipulating your reality. There's no God, no Satan trying to manipulate and change your life. God is within you.
I want you to ask yourself something. How does this embryo grow a nervous system? How does it know what to do? What's the intelligence behind it? Well, my friend, this is the same intelligence that's telling your heart to beat right this second, that's telling your stomach to digest food without you being conscious of it. This is what we call the subconscious. Our subconscious mind is connected to an infinite intelligence. It's amazing how God works.
Did you know the 7 deadly sins are 7 blocked chakras? And a sin is not an action. You have an etheric energy body. The emotions are energy in motion. If you feel any of these emotions, you waste the etheric life force that's feeding your body. These emotions can quite literally aid you because your body's being fed by this life force. Sin is not an action, but a force that you cultivate within yourself that disrupts the life force within you. Now, I'm not saying that you go out and work on these chakras. These chakras are a result of your own mind. If you gain mastery over your mind, your emotions will fall in place. Work on removing these things from your mind. Thoughts create emotions and emotions create actions. One last thing, the church is scamming you. Sin is not an action. The devil is not a real character. These things are all inside of you. Allegories and myths to represent aspects of your psyche. Symbolism Masterclass is now available, but it's closing soon. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Every religion has a sacred river. For the Egyptians, it's the River Nile. For the Christians, it's the Jordan River. This river is the human spinal cord. The brain produces cerebrospinal fluid through the pineal and the pituitary gland. When the moon enters your sun sign, the cerebrospinal fluid falls down the spine every month to regulate the systems of the body. Jesus was in Nazareth with Joseph and Mary. Joseph the pineal, Mary the pituitary. Jesus then travels down the Jordan River, your spine, and goes to Bethlehem, your sacrum bone. Joseph and Mary are waiting for Jesus' return, which is the brain waiting for the oil to return back up the spine. And when Jesus returns back up the Jordan River, the spine, to Joseph and Mary, he's crucified in Golgotha, which translates to a place in the skull, at the age 33, because there are 33 vertebrae on the back of your spine. So this process of Jesus is symbolic of raising the cerebrospinal fluid back to your brain. This process activates dormant parts of the brain that were never activated.
activated before, making the brain process information quicker and working more efficiently. The whole Bible is a spiritually encoded text on how to reach the higher human potential. The Symbolism Masterclass opens tomorrow. There are limited spaces.
If you look at the Matrix, Neo's plugged in on the back of his neck, right into the reptilian brain. This part of the brain doesn't think, just reacts. It's all about survival, running on pure instinct, just like everyone trapped in the Matrix. When Neo is unplugged, he's freed from the reptilian brain. His name Neo represents the neocortex, the part of the brain that allows critical thinking, learning, and expansion. That's the real way of escaping the Matrix, overcoming fear, breaking free from the programming, and activating the higher consciousness. Neo worked at a place called metacortex for a reason. This is all about transcending the lower mind and mastering the self to the higher parts of the brain and human potential.
Why is it the ancients were so obsessed with these mythical creatures? A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. This is the ancient Sumerians. A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. Even ancient Christians are seen with the same symbolism. We even see this on the tarot card as well. The lion is Leo, the man is Aquarius, the eagle an old symbol for Scorpio, and the bull is Taurus. In esoteric teachings, they teach you that you have 4 bodies, not one. You have a physical body, an emotional body, a spiritual body, and a mental body. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the physical body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. Aquarius is an air sign, which is the mind. These ancient creatures were not real, they're symbolic. And they're showing you the 4 bodies of the soul. Our soul is incarnated into these 4 separate bodies. Hence why Jesus has the 4 Gospels. This mythical creature is not a mythical creature, but a symbol of your soul. The mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, and the spiritual body. The bull, the ox, the man, and the lion, all in one creature, which is the soul incarnated into the 4 bodies. This is why the earth symbol is a cross and with the 4 sections and a circle. I think this is going to change how we see ancient civilizations. They knew the sacred science of the soul. Jesus never died on a cross. It's a symbolic story. Jesus took 5 wounds on the cross and then he ascended to heaven. The 5 wounds represent the 5 senses. These are the 5 ways the soul interacts with matter. In order to reach your higher consciousness, you have to sacrifice the desire of the 5 senses, detaching from the material world, so that we can ascend to our higher consciousness. To prove this, the Bible says the flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God in Corinthians. The body cannot enter heaven, which means your emotion, your mind, and spirit can, which proves heaven is a state of consciousness now. This is why Jesus says, take no thought 5 times in Matthew. Take no thought is meditation. 5 to turn off the 5 senses so that we can connect with the higher consciousness. The word Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving Earth. The whole Bible is an allegorical, spiritual ascension toolbook. This book will help you understand this.
Freemasons call themselves traveling men. They move from the west to the east. West, where the sun dies. East, where the sun rises. Symbolic of rising from darkness to light, from death to rebirth, from survival to creation. We've been programmed to stay in survival mode, money, bills, stress, and daily grind. But the true power of the mind isn't just to survive, it's to create. Why do you think the most powerful people builders of empires, industries, are Freemasons? Because they understand self-mastery. They don't just build structures, they build powerful minds. In Freemasonic paintings, you'll see the images and symbols of tools. These tools are not for construction, but for the transformation of the inner self. They represent the mastering of thought, emotion, and consciousness, building a strong mind, because a chaotic mind cannot create. West to east, left brain to the right brain, logic to creativity, it's all symbolic. Master your mind and you master your reality.
Satan is Saturn. 666, the mark of the beast. On the north pole of Saturn, you have the cube. Add up all the sides, you get 6 points, 6 triangles, 6 sides. 666. We live in a soul system, not a solar system. We start in the stars and then we incarnate through Saturn. Saturn materializes our soul into the 666 carbon suit. All life forms are based on the bonding properties of carbon. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 666. The body is the beast. The Bible tells you Satan is the god of this world, and he has blinded the minds of those who do not believe. Because when our soul incarnates through these 7 celestial spheres, we forget who we are before this lifetime. The symbol for Saturn is even showing you this. All of the planet symbols symbols are made out of the Holy Trinity, the sun, the moon, and the cross for Earth. The Saturn symbol is the Earth cross and the moon crescent. Earth is matter, moon is mind, sun is soul. The Saturn symbol is showing you Earth over moon, matter over mind, when it should be mind over matter. We incarnate into this world so we can restrict our mind, because in the dimensions of the mind and imagination we can think and it comes into manifestation instantly. But this plane limits us. Sega Saturn is a game, the Nintendo GameCube. This is why we say think outside the box, because you are not your physical body, and this is the box they're trying to trap us in, the physical dimension.
The human body is liquid crystal. There are CIA documents which reveal that. Radios use crystals to pick up frequencies and turn them into sound. Your body works the same way. Your pineal gland has crystalline structures that act like an antenna. Your body is a radio, tuning into the infinite stream of consciousness, the mind of God. We are all God in human form, experiencing life through the illusion of separation. God created the 3D world to experience himself instead of the oneness. You don't need to go to church to connect with God. You are God. The key is going within through breathwork, meditation, and inner awareness. Religion was made to externalize this truth, to keep you away from your own divine power. Don't make this mistake. When I woke up spiritually, I went straight into chakras, energy work, and cleansing my aura. I thought this was the key, but I was wrong. The only thing that truly matters is mastering the mind. When you train your mind, you gain control over your emotions, your body, and your energy. You don't have to force your vibration to rise or try to balance your chakras. They naturally align when the mind is in check. Don't get lost in the external. Focus on your mind. Once you master that, everything else follows. Your spirit, your body, and your soul will fall into place. Freemasons are satanic according to Christians, yet King James, who commissioned the Bible, was a Freemason. He even wrote a book on demonology, what Christians call witchcraft. So they're believing a book which was written by a Freemason. We live in a scripted reality. The Bible has been altered to match the events playing out today, making it seem like a divine prophecy when it's actually a long-term plan. Revelation, it's not unfolding naturally, it was scripted by those in power. They've been following the plan for generations. So the question is, are you following the script or seeing through the illusion?
Orgasms are ruining your life. When you release, you produce dopamine. Dopamine is the brain's reward system. When you release, you get a spike in dopamine, feeling amazing. This tells your body that you have achieved something. Then your dopamine levels plunge. If you have an orgasm every day, then you are tricking your brain and body that you have achieved something, because you're activating the brain's reward system. This is why you feel lazy, tired, and unmotivated to do anything with your life, because your body already feels accomplished and achieved something. When you stop watching these dirty websites, then your brain will start to seek dopamine in other things, like writing a book or making something out your life. Sex is the best possible feeling that the human body can feel, and if you experience this feeling every day, then you will numb yourself to the little things in life that you won't be able to enjoy, because you're giving yourself the epitome of feelings. When you stop watching porn and releasing, your life will change.
How to enter a meditative state instantly. Get present. Bring yourself into the moment by repeating affirmations. I am here right now. Nothing else matters. Say this for 5 minutes to anchor your awareness. 2. Shift your focus. Direct your attention to the back of the brain or your breath. The back of the brain does not think.
Just hanging around.
So this quiets the mind, allowing your consciousness to expand beyond the clouds of thought and connect with your true self. 3. Breathe with intention. Inhale deeply through the nose, filling your lungs completely. As you exhale, let your breath out slower than you took it in. Do this for 15 or 30 minutes and you'll naturally enter a meditative state. Never breathe through your mouth. This is for emergencies only, and this is what dogs do. Christians have been tricked. Jesus didn't ask to be worshipped. He wanted us to live by his teachings. Turning water into wine wasn't literal. Water is emotion. Wine is transformed emotion. We must transmute our negativity. Walking on water is no different than believing in Santa who drops off presents every year. It's meant to be emotional control. Walking on top of water, our emotion. The world is in chaos because we don't understand the hidden parables. We lack understanding, and this is why we have war, fear, division, and uncontrolled emotions. Stop worshipping. Start embodying his teachings. Belief alone won't save you. You must rise above the lower mind.
Jesus never existed. The Last Supper is astrology. Each body part is ruled by a zodiac. Aries the lamb rules the head, which is why he's on the head of the table. Taurus rules the neck. He has a very thick neck for Taurus the bull. The next sign is Gemini. Gemini Gemini is the two arms, the two twins. That's why his hands are up for the two twins. Next sign is Cancer, the crab with pinchers. He's holding a knife for the pincher of Cancer. The next sign is Leo, when the sun is powerful, radiant, and summer. That's why he's showing dominance with a clenched fist and an elbow on the table. The next sign is Virgo, the virgin. He's pointing that there's no Adam's apple. This is a woman, a Virgo, the virgin. Jesus is the sun, the light of the world, the risen savior, the Son of God. He's placed in a triangle to symbolize the sun's rays. One hand up for the daytime, one hand down for the taking away of the sun at nighttime. Libra is when the sun is balanced between summer and the winter. That's why Libra is the balanced scales, and the symbol is a half rising sun. That's why he's holding his arms out balanced. Next sign is Scorpio, with this man pointing upwards. Scorpio is our reproductive sexual organs. He's pointing up because you must raise your sexual energy up to Aries. That's why Aries is an anagram for arise. They're in 4 groups of 3 because there are 3 months in each season. Luke, Mark, John, and Matthew. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Jesus is the sun, which is our soul. Spring is our physical body. Summer is our spirit. Fall is our emotions. Winter. Ever wondered why graduates wear this hat? The hat is a square and a circle. The square created by the square. The circle created by the compass, which is the Freemasonic square and compass. The circle is eternal, no beginning, no end. The square creates the square, which is beginning and end. Spirit and matter, mind over matter, the compass over the square. But in this case, we have the square over the circle, which represents matter over the spirit. The graduation cap symbolizes dominance of matter over spirit, representing the conditioning imposed by Saturnic energy. Hence why it's a black cap for the black cube of Saturn. That's why judges wear a black robe, representing reinforcement and limitation. This is not a coincidence. Is university just conditioning to limit the human mind? The Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the different body parts of your body. Anubis represents the tongue. He's a dog with the barking because the power of life and death is in the tongue. Falcon of Horus is the inner brainstem. Osiris, the god of death and the underworld. He represents the reptilian brain, hence why he's green and has reptiles next to him. The reptilian brain is when our consciousness exists in death because we don't think. Horus with the circle on his head represents the limbic system in the brain. Amun-Ra is the hippocampus in the brain. Ra is where we get RAM. Computer has a RAM for memory, and the hippocampus in the brain is all to do with memory. This is the Lamb of God. Thoth, the god of wisdom, the one who preserves the ancient wisdom. Ibis bird is the sternum, which is the chest, which contains the treasure, which is our soul, our heart. Our heart contains the sacred knowledge. Sternum protects the heart, the treasure. He preserves the wisdom. The Ankh is the portal into the physical world, the uterus. The Bible even tells you that animals are deeply symbolic. Job 12:7. Ask the beasts of the field and they will teach you, the birds of heaven and they will tell you. Because each animal represents a part of the human experience. Snakes represent the wave of energy. The Egyptians saw each body part had a specific role in the human experience. And these parts of our body are very sacred. If you want to learn more, then read the Book of Wisdom, Volume 2.